Hey everybody, welcome back for another game break. So today I'm talking about, well, myself, who I am and why I decided to create the channel and my journey to get here. And the reason for this is because one of you was mentioning you've been watching the channel for a while, but you don't know anything about me. You don't know my name or a lot of my backstory when it comes to gaming. And that's fair because I don't think I've introduced myself name-wise since my very first video. So I figure I need to make a video to talk about myself and introduce myself properly to the channel. I meant to do this at least a year ago, but it just never really materialized, never felt quite right. But now I feel a little bit more comfortable doing so. So for those of you that don't know, which is most of you, my name is Cody, C-O-D-Y for those of you that are curious how to spell it. And I live up here in Canada. And some of my educational background is I have a bachelor's in military and diplomatic history, which kind of makes sense because I love RPGs, especially the ones that have a lot of lore and a lot of world building and history to them. So I shouldn't be too surprised that I ended up getting a degree in, well, Earth's lore. And I pretty much used my degree for everything but history, from working in banks to environmental companies. So my history with gaming is it all started with Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo and watching my older cousin play it when I went over to his house. And I had an original Nintendo Entertainment System. I enjoyed it, but I never fully got into gaming at that point. It was with the Super Nintendo and Final Fantasy II. As soon as I saw that game, gaming got its claws in me, and it hasn't let go of me since. And I'm eternally grateful for it because gaming is a huge part of my life, and I love video gaming to death. So from that point forward, I fell in love with gaming and particularly RPGs. There was a point in my life there where 80 to 90% of what I played was just RPGs through and through. It's been the last couple of console generations or the last few generations of gaming that I've really started to branch out a little bit more and expand my horizons. But RPGs will always be my first and one true love. I love Eastern and Western RPGs, but if I had to pick, I would probably say Eastern RPGs are most definitely my favorite. So after many years of gaming and watching YouTube channels and enjoying them, I never thought I would start a YouTube channel. Not in a million friggin' years did I ever think I would start one. But as years went on and I got exposed to these intelligent, charismatic, eloquent YouTubers who were just sharing their passion for games, more and more I started thinking like, oh, I would really like to do that. I would really just love to express my love for games, particular games in general. So along comes winter 2019 and I'm sitting down to dinner with a buddy of mine, Nadger, who will be on this show one day. Mark my words, Nadger, I know you're watching. And I was expressing my desire to, I really feel like I should start a YouTube channel. But with life and a girlfriend and a job, it was hard to find the time. I didn't know how I would make room for it. But then a funny thing happened. COVID happened in the spring of 2020. And I was working in the restaurant industry, and for everyone watching, I'm sure you know, the restaurant industry got obliterated by COVID. We got absolutely wrecked. So I found myself at home suddenly in quarantine with a lot of time on my hands. So after a few months of doing the quarantine thing, I thought, you know what? May as well start the YouTube channel. So the wife and I talked about the name for the channel for about a day. I think I touched on this on my 500 subscriber video, but Game Break very much was meant to encapsulate that feeling of coming home from work after a long day or school, or maybe you're just having a terrible, awful, no good day. And you decide to sit back, relax, and play some games for a few hours. And I don't know about you, but there was nothing like sitting down and just playing a video game for a little while to de-stress or calm down or just to escape from reality for a little while. There's nothing like a good video game, at least for me. So that's where the name came from. And I remember starting the channel thinking, man, if I get 10 subscribers, just a small group of people that I could at least talk about the games I love with, and we could just comment on maybe some industry news and talk back and forth and just have that outlet, you know, people to just share my passion with. Because I have friends that game too, but with so much variety in gaming now, definitely our tastes have diverged in certain areas. So YouTube is very much an outlet for that. And just the amount of subscribers I've gotten and the support I've gotten, I am blown away and humbled every day. I almost can't put into words how appreciative and how just heartwarming it is to have so many people walk through that door and decide to stick around. because they like how I cover games, or they like my reviews, or they like seeing my reactions to trailers. It's all been very surreal. And I almost have to pinch myself every day, proverbially speaking, that this is actually happening. And it's actually grown as much as it has. So just thank you. Without all of you, this wouldn't be 90% as fun as it's been the last year. So once again, thank you. And that's pretty much, I guess, it. That's been my gaming journey to Game Break, how I decided to come up with the channel, and a little bit more about myself, such as my name and all that stuff. So thank you for joining me for this video to get to know a little bit more about me, and I'll be back in the not too distant future to cover some cool looking games. I'll see you later.